And we begin with breaking news at 11. The southbound 101 finally reopened hours and hours after a police shooting.
Yeah, the freeway was shut down since this afternoon after a chase and officer-involved shooting. This all happening in East Hollywood.
And the highway closure affected thousands of drivers.
Yeah, the widespread backup on the 101 lingered for more than 6 hours. Now, the shutdown had happened on the South 101 near the Santa Monica Boulevard off-ramp.
Yeah, CBS 2's Christy Fajardo has the latest on the breaking story. Christy?
Yeah, Amy and Chris, police just took down what was left of the crime tape here at Normandy and Melrose. And as you said, they reopened the southbound lanes of the 101 right over there about an hour ago. They had been shut down for close to 6 hours as officers investigated an officer-involved shooting. Traffic at a standstill as officers look for shell casings on the 101 freeway. Police shut down the southbound lanes after an officer-involved shooting near Melrose, forcing impatient and frustrated drivers onto snarled side streets.
It's, bumper to bumper.
Police say it started when officers tried to pull over the driver of the Range Rover on Western near Santa Monica, possibly for a hit and run. But instead of stopping, he sped off, and officers followed. A minute later, he was on the 101 freeway and stopped. His passenger surrendered, but police say the driver got out with a gun in his hand.
Unknown at this point whether they pointed at the officer or not, or if he discharged the firearm at the officer. We won't know till they review the body cam and the in-car video. But at that point, an officer-involved shooting occurred.
Police say the suspect was shot, but still ran away down the off-ramp and into a neighborhood. The LAPD set up a huge perimeter while they searched.
I just saw the helicopter flying by, so I thought they were just on patrol, and then I saw an officer head towards the on-ramp of the freeway over here. Then a couple of minutes later, I saw him bring out his shotgun.
Our chopper was overhead when the LAPD arrested the suspect. Police say he had tried to break into an apartment complex on Normandy, and an astute neighbor told officers where they could find him. Police say they did recover the suspect's weapon. They also tell us again that he did suffer gunshot wounds, but they say that his injuries do not appear to be life-threatening. Live in East Hollywood, Christy Fajardo, CBS 2 News.
Okay, Christy, thank you. And there's a new threat looming for people that are still recovering from the deadly Woolsey fire. We're talking mudslides.
Yeah, that's right. All of the recent burn areas across Southern California are at risk as rain moves in. CBS 2's Jeff Nguyen is live at Latigo Canyon and PCH in Malibu with a warning from the National Weather Service. Jeff.
Amy and Chris, tonight, the mandatory evacuation order at Latigo Canyon has not been lifted. Add to that, there are concerns that these hillsides will give way. That's because they are blackened, and you can see that they run along the heavily traveled Pacific Coast Highway. Tonight, hundreds of Southern California Edison crew members work to restore power to Malibu, where more problems may be looming in a matter of days. One of the potential trouble spots is Latigo Canyon, where about a dozen people waited for an evacuation order to be lifted after flames swept through here. James Ketchum and his wife want to go home, even if there's no electricity.
We're going to camp in the dark. We've got our camping stuff in the garage, so we'll just, we'll camp. We'll camp at home. That
may be tougher because the National Weather Service in LA says there's a potential for rock slides, mudslides, and minor debris flows across the Woolsey Fire and Hill Fire burn areas. Rain is expected to roll in late Wednesday afternoon and into Wednesday evening. The greatest threat will be along Pacific Coast Highway and Canyon Roadway.
We went through the Corral Canyon fire, so we've seen what the road just turns to a river of mud.
Linnell Perna and her daughter filled their cars with as much as they could, including their 2 cats, during the mandatory evacuation order. Amy says things have been stressful because school is canceled at least until December 3rd.
Especially with like AP testing and everything, and I'm a senior, so yeah, I don't know what's going to happen as far as our records and with colleges and stuff.
As we drove through Malibu, we could see scorched earth butting up against PCH and a number of canyon roads, which may get blocked if too much rain comes down. So James Ketchum says he'll have to prepare for that as well.
We need to make one store trip to get 5 days of camping supplies.
And the National Weather Service is warning that rain could cause significant travel delays the day before Thanksgiving, which is typically already busy. We are live in Malibu. Jeff Nguyen, CBS 2 News.
Yeah, you can never be too prepared, Jeff. Thank you. And CBS 2 meteorologist Amber Lee, she's tracking the rain. So Amber, what can we expect?
All right, calm before that system arrives right now. We're actually feeling a little bit more of those offshore winds tonight. Very weak in nature, but it is going to keep a lot of that marine influence away from us, but we still have high clouds rolling overhead. Here's a look at those current temperatures out the door. We're going to be dealing with overnight lows once again dropping to the 40s and 50s tonight. So you can see we're on our way there. Mid to upper 50s for Burbank, downtown LA, and also for the Van Nuys area. Low 50s for Camarillo. We're already hitting upper 30s for Lancaster, which is very typical for this time of the year. 53 for San Bernardino and 64 Santa Ana. So here's a look at the winds. You can see that the arrows are going from the land pointed toward the ocean, and that's why that marine influence really isn't reorganizing as we head into the overnight hours. So that means tomorrow's temperatures will be just a touch warmer than today, and then we're waiting for that system in the Pacific Northwest that will bring us rain. I'll let you know whether or not Mother Nature is going to serve rain with us on Thanksgiving Thursday. Back to you.
All right. Thank you, Amber. Well, we do have some good news tonight in the fight against the Woolsey fire. CAL FIRE says the fire is now 91% contained. Full containment is expected on Thanksgiving. Now, the fire has burned more than 96,000 acres. The number of people killed is still at 3, and 3 firefighters were hurt. More than 1,400 structures were destroyed. And today, many of the people who were forced to evacuate out of Malibu were allowed to return home for the first time. CBS 2's Adriana Weingold was there for some emotional reunions.
Deborah Kersey found her husband just beyond the checkpoint on Paradise Cove, where hundreds of people parked along PCH waiting to go home. He never evacuated, but she left with the dogs more than a week ago as the Woolsey fire came dangerously close to their home on Zumirez Drive.
The fire had hit my neighbor's house, and my husband was on top of the house just hosing it down with a hose. And it was just so incredible. And he screamed at me and he said, "Honey, it's time for you to go."
Frank Kersey refused to leave. Instead, he and a handful of his neighbors stayed behind to protect their street. Despite intense conditions, Kersey used garden hoses to put out fires around his home.
It just seemed that one of us was at the right place at the right time, and we were able to quell things enough to move on to the next fire and hot spot and put it out.
Monica Johnson grew up in this home on Zumirez Drive. Her neighbor's house burned to the ground, but she came home today to find her home still standing. She and her boyfriend Klaus Korai say it's in large part because of Kersey and his efforts to save the neighborhood.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, we're glad that the place looks as good as it does, but just to see all the devastation in the neighborhood, it's amazing.
Devastation across the neighborhood. For the Kerseys and so many others, it was a day filled with emotion.
It's good to be home, but I just feel for so many others.
Seeing one another for the first time since parting ways in the midst of devastation, they're just happy to be home and back together. Many people happy to be home, many others still unable to return home. PCH is still closed between Guernsey Avenue and the county line. City officials saying they hope to have it open tomorrow. In Malibu, Adriana Weingold, CBS 2 News.
And tonight, firefighters are gaining ground in the battle against the deadliest, also most destructive fire in California history. The Camp Fire is now 65% contained. It has burned 150,000 acres. At least 77 people were killed. The number of people listed missing is down to about 1,000. That's from nearly 1,300 last night. The fire has destroyed over 10,000 structures. And as the search for the bodies continue, the missing and the dead were remembered tonight. An emotional vigil for many. Now, dozens gathered at a church in Chico to pray, sing, also support each other. Many who attended, they are from Paradise. It was the town that was just decimated in the fire. A banner on the altar read, "We will rise from the ashes." Counselors and mental health professionals were there to offer support.
And breaking news now, evacuations ordered in Guatemala after a volcano erupted. The volcano of fire is located in the south central part of the country. Authorities have urged 8 communities near the volcano to evacuate. In June, another eruption killed nearly 200 people.
All right, so an out-of-control car on collision course. Coming up, it slams into a local gas station. What happened to the people inside?
Plus, a stolen Picasso found in a very unusual spot.
Oh, there it is.
And there it is. We'll take you to the big holiday tree lighting celebration at the Grove. Amber?
And just days away until Thanksgiving, we are tracking a Pacific storm that could potentially bring us rain and also minor debris flow. I'll let you know whether or not it's going to make its way to us on Turkey Day.